Let's talk about it, Boulder. Now they're really getting deep into fall camp. It's time to try to figure out who's going to play what position and who's got the opportunity to start going forward. And we're going to start off with our position breakdowns here on the Prime Time for College Football at the DB spot. We're going to go backwards, DB all the way down to the D line, and then work our way from the offensive line back to quarterback, because we know the quarterback battle is one that's going to be going on for a while. So let's dive into that. Appreciate y'all pulling up. I'm your boy Jay. We dive into a lot of the position breakdowns and stuff because there's a lot to talk about for Colorado. And right now, the question that has been asked is, who's going to be the next Travis Hunter? Is there one on this roster? Based upon that catch y'all saw earlier, that interception, reminded us a lot of Travis Hunter doing that against TCU 2 years ago. But outside of that, this DB room is very interesting. So we're going to pull up some numbers on it. We're going to look at the players and the snap counts, because I think that tells a good story of what Colorado's going to be looking to do next season, especially having this being one of the more veteran rooms on the team. Let's dive into what the possibilities are for the Buffs. As you see here, the Buffs have a nice group of DBs and some good height here, right? You've got roughly a good average of around 6 feet. You know, 3 guys under 6 foot with Cole Mathis, you know, the true freshman, young player. Was that Braden Keith sitting at what, 5'10", and then you got Tarikas Davis. But when you saw that catch at the beginning or whatnot, that was Tarikas. So there's a chance that kid could come in there and, make it very, very interesting. But the DB room is one that, to me, should see a massive increase in production in comparison to what we saw last year. I mean, because when I look at this, Deion Parks coming in from Illinois State, what I like about him is over 700 snaps. Same thing with Tarikas Davis from Wyoming, as well as DJ McKinney, who played last year. He was the guy right next to Travis there at corner, and played a lot with, especially with Colton Hood that was out there. Now that Hood's gone, honestly, DJ McKinney, who is a second team All Big 12, is most likely going to be your number one corner. I think he's going to be the main guy, probably the field guy instead of boundary. And he's going to be out there showing skills at 6'2", man. He's got it to me. That's the thing that jumped out to me, man. He's got that height. I think he's got the skill set to really make the magic happen. But the good thing for the Buffs is the rotation is going to be nice. Preston Hodge is probably going to be there at your nickel. You're probably going to see a lot of Tarikas Davis as well as Deion Parks combined out there for your boundary side. And the question's going to be just how aggressive Rob Livingston's going to be when it comes to the DB room and those rotations. But, man, I love this room. It's probably the one that I'm the most excited about. Because then, of course, I look at the safety room. I think that Taufik Bayard's going to definitely be one of your starters with Carter Stoudemire. That's the two. Me and Dukes talked about that on the channel a few weeks ago. And that's the two. I mean, I know Terrence Love has been making waves, but I really do see that it's going to be Bayard as well as Stoudemire really being the ones that's going to step out. We'll see the depth chart, of course, in a couple of weeks. But just breaking down the room itself, having a couple of dudes with enough stats. I mean, Love, he's only had 34 last season, but that's not a bad thing. He's a junior. He's got experience in the SEC. He's played against SEC caliber players on his on the team when he's out there at Auburn. He could step up and become a guy that tries to take somebody's position. So the good thing for Colorado is there's no quote unquote issues when you look at this room. When you look at the combination of players that's available, you've got a lot of really, really, really good options. And so I'm more so asking the question of who do we feel will be that dude? Because it's going to be next to DJ McKinney. McKinney's number one, period. Point blank, I don't care. The question is who's going to be the one right next to him? And then we know that Preston's most likely going to be the nickel, especially after how well he played last year, 584 snaps. Played a lot, solid grades when I went and looked at the grades on PFF. Deion Parks was one of the best dudes in FCS in his grades, and he's a big guy, 6'1", 180. To me, it's one of those, he just needed a platform to show just how talented he is, and here we go. Good thing for the Buffs is there's not a shortage of talent when it comes to what they have. I'm waiting to hear about Makari Vickers. I know he had a heart procedure. He came from Oklahoma. One player I loved as a recruit, Seatbelt. He was really good coming out of Florida. And I think that he's one that has an opportunity to really bounce back. And I think here is the place for him. I'm going to try to get him on the show. I know his dad. Need to go reach out and see how they're doing and hopefully get him on to just kind of talk, about his experience there with Prime and his experience in Colorado. I know you all would love to hear about that. So let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. Definitely want to hear your thoughts. There's a lot to really talk about when it comes to that DB room. There's just so much talent. And having Coach Prime and Coach Mathis really break that down for them, this room is going to be probably the fun one, especially here in the Big 12. The big thing is we know the Big 12 is infamous for being a conference with a lot of passing. And since it's a conference with a lot of passing, we have to make sure, we got to figure out, right, like what things are going to look like. And we've got to make sure that as a conference that's passing, they're going to be throwing the ball so much that these guys are going to be tested like crazy. And to me, testing them is not going to be a bad thing. I think that they're going to live up to all expectations and actually give us some good stuff. And so, yeah, I'm really curious. But I know DJ McKinney is definitely going to be your starter. I'm expecting it to be with him. If I'm going to go out on a limb, I'm probably going to say end up being Parks with Hodge as your Hodge playing your nickel and Tariqus Davis kind of rotating in at the nickel with Preston. That's probably your rotation, but I could see Davis coming out of nowhere in a lot of spots. As you saw in that video, man, he had her making catches that are ridiculous. And there's no complaints. That's what we love to see. You're excited about seeing stuff like that. So let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. Want to hear your thoughts. All right, we'll have another video. We'll break down the linebacker room going forward here on the next one. Then we'll go through all the other positions. As I mentioned, we're going to go DBs, work our way down to the defensive line, and go O-line all the way up. So make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and bell notification, and so you don't miss any of the content. And you can, of course, always hit that, check the video out here, as well as the playlist right there. And you'll be all tuned in. We'll chop it up soon.